everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel Rather Be Reading, and today I'm bringing to you the New Year's book tag. The New Year's book tag was originally created by Heather from Bookables, and I was tagged by Chloe, whose channel is now called Always Booked. I'll leave a link to both of their videos down in the description box for you guys to check out. So I'm kind of sneaking this in at the end of January because I was tagged, and I feel like we're getting away from a time when you can post a New Year's book tag. So let's just jump straight in. There's only a few questions, so let's jump straight in and chat about things. So the first question is just how many books are you planning to read in 2020? If you saw my 2020 goals video, then you know that I've set my reading goal at 250. I've hit 250, so I read exactly 250 in 2018, and I hit 293 in 2019. Very impressive, if I do say so myself. I was very happy with myself. But I have definitely slowed down on my audiobook listening in the past couple of months, so I'm not expecting it to be as huge a number this year. So 250 is definitely like a goal. I'm used to, and this sounds like really self-congratulatory, but I'm used to seeing on my goal on Goodreads that I'm always like, almost from the beginning of the year, 3 books ahead of schedule, then 10 books ahead of schedule, and then 30 books ahead of schedule. That's the type of numbers I'm used to seeing leading up to my goal. And I am ahead of schedule at the moment, but I'm only like 2 books ahead of schedule, and I've kind of only been around that level for like the whole first part of January so far, which is kind of unusual to see, but hopefully I can keep on track and manage to hit the 250 books for 2020. Question 2 is, name 5 books that you didn't get to in 2019, but you want to make a priority in 2020. I just realized I didn't grab any books to show in this video, so I guess we're just going with all pictures. So, one of the first things that I wanted to get to was To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. That is a reread. I had set a reread goal last year, and then Mel reminded me about a video that I had done about the top 5 books that I wanted to reread, like quite a few years ago. And when I rewatched that video and realized that I hadn't read like any of the books on that list, I decided to make those a priority. And so I did manage to reread everything from that video. But because of that, I didn't end up getting to Kill a Mockingbird in 2019. So that is one of my reread priorities for 2020. And then apart from that, if you watch my channel, you know I'm a very structured reader. So I kind of work my way through my TBR in a very structured manner. So everything that I was hoping to get to in 2019 is just books that I'm working my way through in January instead. So there's all books that you will have heard about on my channel recently. So we had the Trill Trilogy by Amanda Hocking. That was one of my priorities, which I've already read. Night Film by Marisha Pessl, which I've already read. The Arcana Chronicles by Kresley Cole, which I've started. So they're kind of the like oldest things kind of on my TBR that like I was, would ideally have liked to have gotten to within 2019, but it didn't happen. And then one other thing that I'll mention, like for the 5th thing, was was hoping to read The 10th Girl by Sarah Faring. So this is a like thriller, South American based thriller that I started on audio and listened to a chunk. Like I listened to like a third, but I was really struggling to concentrate on it. And so that is a book that I had definitely decided that I wanted to give a go again. And I was hoping to give it a go again in 2019, and I didn't end up getting around to it. I do have it on hold from my library at the moment, so I'm hoping to get to it early in 2020. But that is a book that I was hoping to get to last year and didn't quite work out. Question number 3 is just, what genre do you want to read more of? So I kind of mentioned this recently on my channel that I do want to read more romance in 2020. If you watch my channel, then you know that I am quite a diverse reader in terms of genre. On my channel, I am pretty much willing to dip my toe into pretty much anything. The only thing I would say that I don't really read is poetry. Apart from that, I read some fantasy, I read some sci-fi, I read some horror, I obviously read thrillers, I read some contemporary, I read some everything, and I do read some romance, but romance used to be like my favorite genre. I was obsessed with romance. I have they're all on the floor next to me where they've been for literal months, which is an issue, but I have stacks of these Harlequin, Mills, and Boons. I've read them all. That I used to be so obsessed that I used to go every like few months and buy like a huge stack of these. And I literally used to read a book, then a Mills and Boon, then another book, then a Mills and Boon, then another book, then a Mills and Boon. Like I used to read so many of these. I used to just devour them. Like romance was my thing. I loved it. And I just, not for any reason, I didn't try to. I just gradually, my reading taste kind of changed, and I still enjoy romance, but I don't read anywhere near as much of it. And I do watch quite a few booktubers who are mainly romance focused, and I'm always like, I think that romance in the last few years has like improved a lot from what I can see. Like it seems like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but these, I mean, obviously this is not the right type of romance to read if you want kind of other good plots going on. There's so much more romance, I think, with really like great character work and great writing and interesting plots that can be in there. And there's like a lot, I think, that the romance genre has to offer. And I'm really looking forward to kind of dipping my toe more in 2020 to some more romance, like just straight up romance, and getting back into a genre that I used to really, really love. So yeah, I want to read more romance in 2020. Question 4 is to name 3 non-book related goals for 2020. I haven't really set myself any like set goals, but I guess there are things that I'm hoping to be better about this year, and they're all pretty typical things that I've been wanting to be better about for like my entire life. So the first one is your pretty standard, I would like to be healthier in 2020. In a way that I want to exercise more, not even necessarily with a goal towards weight loss, although, I mean, that would be nice, but I want to just be healthier. And I don't, if you've watched my channel for a while, then you know that I used to play soccer, and I played soccer for quite a few years. And since I've stopped playing soccer, my exercise has dramatically, like, well, I don't do any. And so I just want to make it a priority to try and do something healthy for my body, like at least every couple of days. Like ideally I would be doing it every day, but I want to kind of ease into it. So I want, even if it's just something as simple as going for a walk or doing a quick like 20-minute Pilates video or just something like that. I just want to be more mindful about taking care of my body and like being healthy. And it's not, like I said, it's not even necessarily about weight. It's more about self-care and about loving myself, and loving myself in a way that means being healthier for myself, if that kind of makes sense. So it's a cliche type of goal, but it's a goal. I also, this is something that I've always been terrible about and always I'm trying to be better about, is being cleaner / tidier. My house is pretty much constantly looking like a bomb's hit it. And I don't know how this happened. It's only in like kind of the last like 5 years, I would say, that I've become really untidy. I used to be a generally pretty tidy and organized person. And I don't know what happened, but slowly it's like sunk down over the years. And I just, like, in my house have a bad habit of just like putting stuff down and then, like, you know, on like my coffee table, my dining room table, and then never moving it again. As evidenced straight up by the fact that I moved these cushions here 2 weeks ago and put them on the floor because I got rid of the sofa bed that was in here that they were on, and I haven't put them anywhere else. They're just still sitting on the floor in here after 2 weeks. So one of the things I'm trying to do in 2020 to be better about that is, and like this is such a small goal, but I know that I'm going to struggle with it, but I want to like be better about this, is just taking 20 minutes each day when I get home from work to just spend 20 minutes doing some minor cleaning or tidying task when I get home, to just kind of straighten something up so that it's not all, because one of the things that I get overwhelmed with is once everything's really untidy, it seems like such a big job to tidy it all up that I get overwhelmed and then I just don't want to do it. So I'm thinking, even if I just spend 20 minutes and then slowly chip away and then like tidy one area and then try to keep that tidy while tidying other areas, that once, you know, through doing that will hopefully, and then once everything's kind of been tidy, it won't seem like such a big job. So yeah, I just want to be like more tidy and organized basically in 2020. And then another third is as a third non-bookish goal, I guess, I would like to be better about saving money in 2020. I just feel like in the last 2 years, maybe, my money seems, I don't know where my money goes. There's a few things that I've been trying to save towards for a long time that I just feel like I'm never getting any closer to achieving those things. And it's partly because I'm an adult and things come up that you end up having to spend for that eat away at that. Like I talked about on here that I recently, like, my cat Winnie had to have surgery and have a lot of teeth removed. Well, she had 12 teeth taken out, and that was incredibly expensive. And that's not something that you can, like, budget for, so to speak. Like, I had budgeted for her having that thing, and then it was a lot worse than what we expected, and then it ended up costing me a lot more. So, you know, you end up, it's not like I don't have the money. I'm very fortunate to have a good job and be able to afford to do most things that I want to do. But, you know, then you take money away from something else that you were saving towards in order to do this kind of thing that you have to do. And then, you know, that means you're further away from that thing that you were saving for again. And that just happens to me constantly. So I would like to be better about just being more mindful of where my money is going and not spending my money on silly things. I am, if you saw my 2020 goals, I am trying to be better with my book purchasing in 2020, and I think that's going to help. And so, yeah, just things like that, not just spending money willy-nilly and being more focused on where my money's going so that I can save towards doing things that I want to do. I would like to do a little bit of travel later in the year, not like travel like holidays, just more like weekend type trips. I would like to go to Sydney again to visit my friend Emma at some point later in the year, maybe. Hi, Emma. I would like to go to Brisbane and like to Hervey Bay, which is an area in like about 3 hours north of Brisbane where my sister lives. My brother lives in Brisbane. And like, even if it's just for like a weekend or like a couple of days to like see family and things. So, and like flights and stuff, like it's expensive. So yeah, I just want to be more mindful about where my money's going so I can do some things like that that I do want to do. Wow, this gold section, I thought this video was going to be like a real quick tag, and I've just been ranting on about all kinds of random shit. Okay, next question. Question 5. What's a book you've had forever that you still need to read? So we kind of touched on that in the previous question because I am so structured with my TBR, but there is one book that I've owned even longer than any of those books that I haven't read, which is The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah. I've talked about this though, that this is it's technically a Hercule Poirot mystery. And so Sophie Hannah has been publishing more in the Hercule Poirot series based on like obviously Agatha Christie's original series. And I bought this one, which is the first one of like the new publications, but I don't want to read it until I get through the original Hercule Poirot series. So that is the book that I've owned the longest that I really want to read, but the original Hercule Poirot series is like 36 books or something like that, and I'm only on my book 20, so we're a long way from me ever getting to that. So that's by far the oldest book on my TBR, and I do want to get to it, but it's definitely not going to happen in 2020, I can tell you that for free. And then question 6 is, what's one word that you're hoping 2020 will be? And I know that this is like a common thing that like a lot of people do, is have kind of an intention word for the year, and I've never really thought about it or done it. And so the first word that really came to mind was successful, which sounds really cliche, but I guess, or like achieve, I guess could be a good one. Like those like kind of goals that I was talking about before, which are not like, it's not like I set like New Year's resolutions, because I don't think that you should need New Year's in order to take steps towards bettering yourself or achieving things that you want to achieve. But I do want to achieve those things in 2020. I want to just think that yes, you have to sometimes put the work in and maybe do things sometimes that you don't want to do. But when you actually get towards making those sacrifices or doing those things and finally getting to and achieving something that you've been trying to do for a really long time, then like that is going to give me such a sense of like accomplishment. And I'm going to be like so proud of myself if I can get on top of those like things that I've been trying to get on top of for literal years. Then I will just be like, feel like 2020 was like, you know, my year. So yeah, I guess like successful or like success or achieve something around that kind of area, I guess would be my word. And then 7 is just to tag friends, which I'm not going to tag anyone because we're like getting well past the stage of when you can reasonably get away with putting up a New Year's book tag. So that's it. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've got any thoughts on anything that I discussed in this video, or I would love to know what your non-bookish, or if you want to talk about bookish goals, I'm interested in that as well, but I would love to know what some of your non-bookish goals are. Do you have like specific things that you're trying to achieve specifically for 2020, or do you have things like me that have just kind of always been goals that you're never very good about doing but you really want to do in 2020? I would love to chat about that down below. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys!